Thanks for joining us. Let's have a conversation about the sale of delegates. It's a bane of our democracy and is now corrupting internal democracy as well. So what really has triggered this? We've seen the Ayawaso East NDC primary. It's thrown up the conversation again. 964 valid votes cast. As we know, there was inducement. The party confirmed it. Motorcycles, televisions, cash, TNT, all paid. And we saw people carrying their lot in this particular elections. And then, and then we have 1 in 10 Ghanaians received inducement. That is what the data is telling us on as far as the CDD's data is concerned. This is the big picture. And the point about this is simple, that if you look at the specifics of Ayawaso East, it simply tells you that it is not the only place this has happened. There is a national dimension to this, which the CDD has talked to us about. They've done extensive work as far as campaign financing is concerned. It is costing politicians and the parties quite a bit to run their internal affairs. For example, in 2021, CDD told us then that it's $100 million run for the presidential campaign. Now we're talking about some $200 million. And I bet it is far more than this. These are conservative estimates when it comes to the amount of money the parties are spending. So this tells you somebody must fund it. No one individual, not even the parties through their dues, can fund this particular heavy layout. And then you talk about the average cost of parliamentary campaigns in Ghana. I mean, listen, I don't even want to mention these figures because the politicians who join will tell you that it is far, far, far more than 2020 or 400,000. Who told you that? 400,000 is a lot. But that's the data that we have, Open Society CDD, back then. If you do the latest one, say, for the 2024 elections, you will find that this is in the millions. And we got the former Attorney General to give us a sense of this when he told us simply that in his constituency to win, he's spending some 3 to 4 million cedis just to win that particular seat. The question is, first, where is this money going? There are some legitimate costs, of course, travel, adverts, etc. But that shouldn't cost you 3 to 4 million. The money is going somewhere that we'll need to interrogate. That's where the issue really is. And if you look at his constituency, it's a very relatively small constituency of 28,000 people, and he got 12,000 votes. So for 12,000 votes, he spent up to 4 million cedis to win that particular seat. That tells you that if you are not rich, you aren't getting it. And so it has really become going to those who can afford, which is at the heart of a democratic problem, which we're facing currently. It's fueling corruption because he has to get the money somewhere. Those who give him the money, when he becomes a minister, it's not him alone, the government, the entire government, they want something out of it. And that's when people then begin to cut corners so they can begin to service those people who have helped them. So they have to look for personal savings, family support, loans, special interest groups, business financiers, and that's where the problem begins to emerge. But we also know from a CDD report years back that there is illicit financing from galamsey coming in, from drug trafficking coming in, all those illicit financing also coming because those people also want favors. And so they will finance the politicians to win their seats. So we have the highest bidder democracy. Not necessarily the guy who qualifies and serves our best interests. That is a problem we're going to be analyzing how to fix. Thankfully, the Constitutional Review Committee had recommended a few interventions that the presidency will have to look at. They recommend an independent registrar for political parties, a campaign period limit. The shorter the period, the less money you spend is the thinking. Spending caps for candidates, you put it there, but you have to implement and enforce independent approval of filing fees, mandatory financial disclosure, and regulate abuse of incumbency. All that the presidency will be considering which of these to implement. The NDC has come in for some criticism because when they issue those statements to say, well, they have noticed vote buying, the president moving swiftly to recall, basically sacked the ambassador to Nigeria because he's the only government official in there who was part of the primary. The party issued a quick statement to say, we're going to be investigating. They were applauded because we haven't seen such swift action by a political party before when it comes to these internal elections. And all of us were expecting something really drastic to happen on the back of that. The reset agenda we set was full tilt, and this is what people voted for. And then we're told days later that unfortunately Status quo must prevail because of X, Y, Z excuses. The parties here, they have to justify that for us. But they've set up a 7-member committee, and they've given a mandate to do a broader investigation and make recommendations. We'll learn about that committee's remit on the show, but then expand it to the MPP also. What real core reforms must we do to fix this monster? If I speak to the politicians, they need this. Quietly, they need somebody to do something about this. Because if it's fixed and the playing field is level, they will save money. They don't want to be burdened the way it's been burdened. And so we need to help them get to a place where there's legislation that helps everybody and they all enforce it. So let's have the conversation after this.